you, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank you for holding this hearing and also congratulate you on being named the chair of this subcommittee. I've been either chair or ranking member of the subcommittee now for 3 Congresses. I love this committee and the subcommittee. Look forward to working with you. I had a very good relationship with the chair last Congress, and I think we could work very well together and get some good things done in these next 2 years. So I'm looking forward to that. The House has passed bipartisan legislation reauthorizing the NIDRD program in the past 2 Congresses. So I believe we can get something done again in this Congress. Hopefully, 3rd time's the charm with the Senate. The most problematic issues threatening the NIDRD program right now are the cuts and uncertainty in top-line R&D budgets. While reauthorizing NIDRD wouldn't solve these problems, it would signal the government's continuing interest in investing in these critical research areas and in partnering with industry to help set R&D and workforce training priorities that prepare our nation for the future. The NIDRD program evolved from the federal program established under the High Performance Computing Act of 1991, as the chairman said. That act provided the funding that led to the development of Mosaic in 1993, the World Wide Web browser that made the Internet user-friendly and led to its explosion in the 1990s. I'm proud to note that Mosaic was created by a team of programmers at the federally funded National Center for Supercomputing Applications at the University of Illinois. Netscape founder Mark Andreessen, who was a leader of the Illinois team before launching his company, was quoted as saying, "If it had been left to private industry, it wouldn't have happened, at least not until years later." Without question, the 1991 Act set the stage for a coordinated federal R&D investment strategy that has underpinned U.S. leadership in networking and information technology over the past 2 decades. In Illinois, that leadership in R&D is helping to complete work on the Blue Waters project, a petascale supercomputer that will maintain the University of Illinois' position at the forefront of high-performance computing research. But as with many other areas of R&D, we can no longer take for granted U.S. leadership in NIT. As noted by Dr. McKinley in his testimony, China, Japan, let me go back and I think I may have said Mr. I make sure I said Dr. McKinley in her testimony. China, Japan, Germany, and several other countries are increasing their investments in NIT R&D and in their capacity to convert R&D into new commercial technologies. As we heard from witnesses at a hearing on U.S. competitiveness last week, R&D no longer occurs in a simple linear progression from basic research to commercial product. There may be a clear role for the government in basic research, including use-inspired basic research, and a clear role for industry in the last 1 to 3 years of product development work. But there are multiple gaps between those efforts, and our economy benefits exponentially when our R&D portfolio includes partnerships that facilitate collaboration among universities, national labs, and industry. This applies as much to NIT as to any other area of R&D. In fact, historically, some of the most economically important public-private partnerships have been in the NIT sector. We must also join forces in addressing NIT education and workforce challenges. While the federal government has a role here, I'd like to hear our witnesses' input on that. This is also a problem that demands the attention of state and local government as well as the private sector. As I have noted several times in the past, I'm concerned about trends and outsourcing of even high-skills jobs. At the same time, however, we hear anecdotally of thousands of U.S. NIT jobs that go unfulfilled due to a lack of qualified applicants. There's no doubt we need to do a better job overall in preparing our students for jobs of today and the future. And in particular, we need to graduate more computer science majors. I hope the chairman will allow me to go a little overtime after I praised him at the beginning.
I don't know.
No, I don't have too much longer. Finally, because PCAST discusses this topic in their latest review of NIDRD, I want to bring up educational technology and a possible topic of discussion for this hearing. By that I mean R&D on technologies to improve learning outcomes and increase access to high-quality education, including STEM education. One of the hottest topics today in higher education is massively open online courses, or MOOCs. Many of the MOOC courses are in computer science and engineering. I wonder how this is changing the NIT education landscape, as well as what the implications and opportunities are for education research. But this is also an expansive enough topic on its own, and maybe the subcommittee would consider holding a separate hearing to look more carefully at these issues. With that, I want to thank all the witnesses for being here today, in particular Dr. Lazowska, who's becoming an old hand at this by now. I look forward to all your testimony and yield back.